Right, here's the plan. Here's the plan. This is my own guitar. It's just a Horner, and it's a model number MW400M. Now, I was outside playing this. I was sitting out in the sunshine today, and I came in and my fingers were sore. And I realized that the action was higher than it should be for my guitar. Right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this the best action guitar that I've ever set up, because it's mine. So I'm going to bring the nut down as far as I can and the bridge down as far as I can. I'm going to just start by checking the neck to get it. I want it. Can I see it? There we are. Okay. The neck's as straight as a bow. How can it be as straight as a bow? A bow's crooked. Anyway, first thing I'm going to do is bring the bridge down far and then that. Because I got told off, and rightly so. I put a video saying, here's some tips on how to bring your action down on an acoustic guitar, and all I did was talk about it. So in this instance, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to bring the action down with the old strings first and then put a set of new strings on. Okay, I'll get on with it now. What I want is the lowest action possible, absolutely possible on this guitar is what I want, the lowest absolute possible action. So what I'm going to do is lower this down first, as low as it possibly can go, maybe even almost flat to the bridge. Now, one of the things, if you're even tempted in doing this to your guitar, make sure your guitar is in solid shape. Make sure the bridge is not loose in any form or fashion. Get a piece of paper, a very fine piece of paper, and do that with the under edge of your bridge to see if it goes in any form or fashion, or if there's any looseness at all on both sides, because you need a solid foundation to do what I'm going to do with this. So make sure your guitar, press on it gently. You don't hear any creaking. If you hear any creaking, it could be loose struts. And then you can do what I'm going to do. What I am going to do at the moment, I'm going to take these old strings off, take those out, and then take that out. So I'm going to speed this bit up, okay? What I'm going to show you on the screen is the height at the 12th fret, which is ridiculous for a luthier to have his own guitar at that height. It's not awful, but if you're going to do it, you can do it the very minimum. And the height at the top is not awful either, but I want an awful lot better. You'll see both heights on the screen. And Georgie girl might hear this. She does, but she's got her eyes closed. She must be tired of hearing it. going to make a mark along there to see how far I can go down. Oh, right. Oh, you're bad. I like it. I did a good job on that. Right, okay. Right, and as you probably can see, I don't have a lot to play with there. But I'm going to play with it anyway. If I take it down too far, I can bring it up again with slight shims. So I'm going to play with it and take a bit off. I'm lucky because I have this new tool. If you don't have this new tool, then what you need to do is use a block of flat wood and put a piece of sandpaper on it and make sure the wood is flat. It's not always the easiest thing to do, and then you go across that way, but you have to keep your hands fairly steady, because if you press in the middle, you'll end up with the middle being flat, less. So that's what this tool does. It keeps it in shape and I can run it across. So I'm going to set this tool up now. If I didn't have the tool, I'd be doing it this way, on a flat surface with flat paper. But I bought the tool, so I'm going to use it. What the tool does was actually just holds the bridge in place. And it actually has a set of wheels. Let me just... and springs and all sorts of good things. And you can adjust the height on it by those. You can get the height you want. Really, it is all it is. Because you're doing it by hand, it's awkward because you're holding it and you're going to rub against the sandpaper. So what I'm doing, as you can see, I can reduce how much I want to take off. I can make it at an angle if I want. I can bring it down. I only want to take that kind of slim piece off. That's how much I want to take off. And then when I've got it exactly the way I want it, slim piece, if you'd wear your own bloody glasses that you can see what you're doing, you idiot. Anyway, it's alright. That's exactly what I want. And then I tighten these up. And that holds the bridge in place. And the wheels are exactly flat with the surface. So when I go like this, I know I'm not just holding it in the middle. The whole thing's holding it sort of steady. And the wheels won't let it go down further than what I want it to be going down. This is 320 paper. It worked very quickly. And you'll know when you've reached the right place whenever there's no more white. That looks good to me. Let me show you that on a clean piece of paper. It's pretty close to... There's only just the dust of it coming off now. So that's down as much as I wanted. And I'm going to just take that off. Loosen it. This was quite cheap. This was 25 quid or something like that. Most of these ones you pay a fortune for, but it gives you a straight. Sometimes that's not all you want is a straight. But let's just clean this up a bit because it's got a little rough. It's got a little rough bottom, and we don't want it to have a little rough bottom, do we? I'm going to clean this up before I put it in permanently. Right. Alright, that's pretty good. Let me just run that pencil across it again. And and then I lift it out again and make sure I have what I want. And this fucking thing's caught up. Bloody hell. You probably barely see the perceptible, how much I've taken off. About 1.5 millimeters. Let me clean this up now. I might even take more off. Because I want to go extremes with this guitar, the very best it can do. Let me look at this to see that I have it down as far as I possibly can go. No, it can come down a little bit more. I want more. More. The other way to do this is to file down, and I might actually still go down that route of filing that further down, but we'll see. We'll get that done now. Now I'm going to look at the nut. Right, so what I'm going to do now is put a string on. I don't have any spare strings now. Elixir Acoustic Plain. They're good. If you search around on Wish, etc., you'll get them for 3 or 4 quid. If you're in a hurry and you don't want to do any searching, you get them on Amazon for about 7 or 8 or 9 quid. So I would do some searching. And I'm putting a couple of strings on. I probably will put them all on, actually. Yes, I will. Suppose I should check for fret leveling, although I've done that before with this guitar, to make sure there's no fret sitting up higher than any other fret. But I have done that on this guitar before in the past. So I'm fairly confident. And this neck is dead straight. Yep. Despite my confidence, I'm checking still. I might even go the whole hog and bring those frets right down so that I can get a really, really, really low action. I like this guitar. My mate borrows this guitar to play in his recording studio because he likes the sound of it. It's got a nice, unique, rich sound. It's a Hohner, H-O-H-N-E-R, as I said at the beginning. And it's a cheap guitar, but it does the job and it sounds good. It sounds as good as any other guitar. Okay. Let me see. Whoa, that's probably too low. Or do I want it lower? Of course, it's going to come lower with that up there. I'm going to put all the strings on. I'll speed through this. I want more down there. I'm going to take that off and bring that down even further. I can't bring the E string down anymore, can I? I can. I'm going to bring it down even more. Pause. Actually, back on again. I'm going to put the I'm going to put that on, and the strings are all relatively loose. Yeah, I want a little bit more off the E string this time, and a bit more off the I want a bit more off the E string and a bit more off the E string. A little less off the high E and a little bit more of the low E. I think I'm pushing this to extremes. I don't care. I want the best action I possibly can get. One of the things you want to try to do is make sure that your bridge is tight in between the two slots and it's not wobbling about. No, okay, that's as low as I'm going to take it, but I am going to bring that down a bit further with the files. Reading the biography of Vincent van Gogh, and it's a biography that was written by a German not long after Vincent van Gogh died. And Vincent van Gogh was an extremely strange person. You could put him in his life was a permanent extreme. Like an extremely religious person who went way over the top, but not just with religion, with everything. And he could control everything about himself, he thought. But and he wasn't rich or famous even until after he died. And then how can you be rich and famous after you die? Okay, now the work's going to be done at the other end. Okay, tidy up, pause. Some people have seen me do this a dozen times if they watch the channel, and they know that I often use a set of feeler gauges beneath the string to give the height, but in this instance I'm not going to. I'm only going to put the feeler strings on there just to protect the fretboard. I'm going to use me eye, love, and bring the string down as low as it'll take till it's almost touching the fret. Okay, I got into my stride there at the end. What I should do is bring the whole nut down a little bit, but I'm not going to, because it's my guitar. And all that. If you have, let me just see, if you have your strings like that and your nut and your strings sitting right, your strings are like that and your strings sitting below the height of the nut, it's supposed to sit just half and half so that it can is flexible, slide up and down. If it was sitting below the neck, it would be more tight, and that doesn't bother me, so I'm going to let my own guitar stay that way. I'll probably speed this up too. Nothing more annoying than, let me just see who's texting me, no, than sitting listening to the guitar being tuned. That's pretty much in close G, just to show you about that stretching aspect. G, it's pretty much in tune, but if I stretch it by putting my finger on the 12th fret and pulling the string up gently without going crazy on it, watch how low it goes. It's actually a B flat now. So that they will go out of tune again, but not as quickly because we've stretched them. And let's look at the action to see what we've got. The G could come down a little bit more, so I'm going to bring the G string down a touch. Evening's always on my mind. Home to hell. E string can come down. I want extremes. It's feeling good. Can I squeeze any more out of that? Yes, I can. Okay. Right, now I'll take some pictures and show you where the action is now. It's 1.5 at 12th fret, and it doesn't measure here. It's 1. It's 0.5 there, and it's 1.5 at the bottom. And I think I probably even could squeeze a bit more, but I think you just barely touch that to get it to work. And it's sounding gorgeous. So, and anybody could do that to their guitar. Anybody could do that to their guitar. And I'm happy with that now. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, princess.